Let's let our breath flow for a moment. Just really good inhales. Good exhales. Let's even take the 3-part yogic breath. So this is inhale, you extend through your belly, and then side ribs go out, and then collarbones even rise a little bit. Exhale, collarbones down, side ribs in, belly in. Just doing everything in that order. It's like a big wave of the ocean is washing over us with our inhale. And exhale, it's receding away. So a few more rounds, just keep that breath flowing. This breath is helping us to kind of deepen our experience in this moment. So often life tries to get us out of this moment. It tries to get us to think about all the stress of, just everything that's going on. The workload, the family stress, just anything that's going on right now. The brain wants us to be kind of in everything but now. That's what the ego wants, because that's what helps the ego feel more and more like it's real. But if we calm ourselves, especially with this 3-part breath, and we deepen our connection to this moment, deepen our current experience, especially with the breath, it reminds us that, you know what? In this moment, everything is okay. It's gonna be fine. I'm gonna make it through this day, and I'm gonna even succeed. And when we're in this moment, we learn to have more fun with the moment that is, rather than making it to be work. And so that's our intention today, deepening our experience of the now, especially through our breath. So that 3-part yogic breath, I'll try to remind us multiple times through class to just connect back to that breath. And so while you're in any pose, any stretch that you may find yourself in, at that point, you'll just let yourself take a nice 3-part breath. Belly, side ribs, collarbone. Exhaling right back out. So with all this to lead us on, let's stretch the arms to the back wall. If you're ready, let's begin to allow our ribs to circle right and left. It's just a good stretch to each direction. Good things happening already. Good, back through the center, hug your hands around right knee. Pulling it in, right ankle can have a few nice rolls. When you're ready to stretch it up, let that hamstring speak to you for a moment. And hook the heel all the way over to that back left, slide the shin in, right into the hip. Let's try to take another 3-part yogic breath. Trying to just relax even deeper into this place. When you're ready to free out this leg, give it a stretch. Drop it down. Second knee comes in, give it a hug. Maybe a few ankle rolls, just tuning into how that spot of the body is doing right now. Sending the leg up when you're ready. the heel over. Let's slide the shin in. Another breath cycle, 3-part breath coming in and out. Good. And then when we start to free out this leg, it eventually drops down. Let's use our feet to help shift some fabric down toward our feet so that our shoulders end up in that perfect spot for vampire. Get enough that you've got at least a little bit covering over your feet and maybe your shins. Hands grip up high. Feet lift up, pressing outward. You rise upside down. From here, we'll take a little bit of core movement. So we'll start to take our feet together. Find yourself exploring your balance. Eventually begin to shift the hips behind you so that the legs can come down in front of you. Find that point where your toes grab the fabric. And then from that point, extend out to a long plank shape, hovering as if you're watching the earth as you're flying by. Good. From there, pike the hips back up. Find your balance, that point where you don't necessarily need the fabric on your toes anymore. And then you pike all the way back up toward vampire. Good. Let's do 2 more of those. Toes down. And straighten out. Back. Eventually find that balance to rise. 1 more. Toes down. Pike out. This time holding for an extra count of 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now drop the right foot to the ground. Maybe even hopping it forward before you sink back into the splits. And in that split motion here, let's see how deeply we can release into this placement. So good breaths in. Out. Trying to connect with that 3-part yogic breath. Lungs and belly very full. Let this be up to you when you're ready to switch sides. Eventually, you'll take both legs through that same stretch. You'll try to spend about equal amount of time to each direction. So if you're switching with me, that's fine. If you want to stay on that first side a little bit longer before you switch, that's fine. Ease with that 3-part yogic breath. Sooner or later, when you feel balanced, no rush to get there. At that point, it'll be free time with vampire. So you can do any vampire variations, maybe coming back toward one that you've already done. Maybe playing around with others, a little bit of free time. No rush at all, just play, explore, be in this moment. So we'll take a little bit more time in the Shavasana, letting our body completely relax. You'll stay in the Shavasana shape until you reach that point where the head's pretty good to be sitting back up. When you reach that point, let's keep the legs inside the fabric and start to come to sit up, just stretching over your 2 straight legs. The knees can be straight or any degree of bend. The head's just kind of relaxing down. And feel yourself taking that 3-part yogic breath even here. Then from here, we're going to slide the heels in close to the glutes, the knees flopping open to each side. When you've slid the heels in, the knees are wide, you'll start to wiggle the elbows free off the front. So push the elbows out to each side until you're up to your shoulders. And then from here, dropping the head down, chin to chest, clasp your hands, and just rest your hands, circling them around the head, curling the head in. This is turning us into kind of a full circle. So our whole back is rounding, our head is dropping down. We're just a nice tight little circle, a nice stretch for the whole back, even down into the sacrum. Another good breath in and out. Let's free out our elbows, free out the legs off the front. We'll come inside just a little bit longer, so choose the side that you'd like to bunch up the fabric with. That hip comes up and over. Legs can come all the way inside. Once we're in, let's take that beautiful, just meditative seat for a moment. Still kind of tuning back into our experience being upright after that nice long inversion. And here, I invite you to just continually ask yourself, am I here and now? Is there anything more perfect or more real than here and now? How can I ground deeper into this present moment? Maybe that's by trying to get my breath deeper in the body, all the way down to the belly. Maybe that's by feeling all the surface area of my body that's touching downward, everything that's holding me in this beautiful cocoon. Touching the right leg open to the right. The right hand stays by that calf or that ankle. Left hand circles up and over. We be with our breath and with our body to this side, to this shape. Rising up, we'll switch the legs out. Right comes in, left straightens out. Grab on, and right hand up and over. Good, rising up. Maybe bottoms of feet together again. Coming back to this present moment. Three-part yogic breaths. Belly, side ribs, collarbones. Exhale, reverse. After that third one, start to send the legs free on each end. Placing a hand on the fabric in front of us, let's take one leg up and then the other. Straightening the legs as much as they'll go here. And how can you ground deeper into this experience? You ground via the muscle level. You ground via the breath level. You can stay here or go to cobbler's pose if you like. Grounding into this new experience. Via the breath, via the muscles. Trying to include that three-part yogic breath. Take one more good breath in and out. Good. Following that breath, let's slide our feet free, facing the front. When we shifted ourselves forward, let's bunch our hands onto the left and right sides of the fabric. When we've got that good grip, we'll slowly tilt all the way backwards to come out. So start to lift the legs up. Complete that full flip until you touch your feet on the ground. Good, coming up to stand and then lean back into the fabric. Try to bring feet under the thumb line. And so from here, we'll bend the knees to go low through the front. The arms go by our sides. We come to that forward plank position. Good. Bending the knees to go back. The arms sweep up. Inhale. Exhale, forward, arms down. Feel yourself kind of holding the core steady in that plank. Good. Next inhale, up. Exhale, down. And let's take two more. Good, inhale to go back. And from here, gripping onto the fabric, we're pulling ourselves back up to stand. Fabric will come out in front of us. Our hands hug all the way around the fabric. Hands come to the inside, and then circle it around once. From this one little grip here, we're gonna do a nice little pull-up, curling knees into the chest. When you're ready to drop down, you'll release the hands just to kind of open them up for a second, giving the fingers a break. When you're ready to come again, we'll repeat that 4. Just holding as long as it still feels like you're doing okay, and then dropping down. Wrap around for 3. 2. I know it's getting shorter and shorter each one. That's all good. You're ready for last one. Come up. Good, and down. Good work. Let's take this right leg out in front of us. Sliding hands down. We're helping to stretch right hamstring. Waking it up. Sliding hands up, swinging switch, left leg in, right leg out, and same stretch, sliding down. Good. One more breath in, sink into this experience, 3-part breath. Exhale, relax out. Raise up. Bring out the leg. Set up the same grip. So hug the fabric, wrap it around once and grip. This is not super high, it's pretty close to my shoulders. So from here, we're gonna try to do a flip. So the flip happens from bringing the knees in. From that bringing in, we kind of start to straighten our arms, and that'll be what helps us to tilt back. The fabric, we want to end up on the hips so that we can kind of do like a little flying plank before we drop the feet down and come to stand. So just to demo, here's one. So I'm grabbing on, it's close to my shoulders. I lift the knees up above me. As soon as I start to straighten my arm, that's how it helps to tilt me back. Then from here, if I need to slide down at all to get the fabric on my hips, that's great. Keep that same grip so you can flatten out for a moment, and then just drop the feet down. So we're gonna try a couple of reps of that. So you've got the grip, round around once. You're curling into the tight ball. As soon as you're up, you start to straighten the arms. That helps you flip. I know, it's kind of a challenge. It's okay, if you didn't make it, try again. So it's not super grip tight because that's what helps us to do it. But what we do, curl it in and think of your shins coming up above you rather than just coming into here. I'm trying to come, like maybe even like 1 foot at a time, kind of come in and flip. And then I'm down. That's it. Good. Drop down, maybe flatten out for a moment. And it's okay, drop down. It looks like it ended up on your belly, so whenever that happens, don't stress about it. Yeah. When it's on hips, it feels like when it's on belly, just come out. Good. Let's try maybe 2 more times. So give it a hug, wrap around once. And again, it doesn't have to be super high. If you go high, you have to lift yourself all that extra. So we're just down here. Maybe just 1 foot helps to kick both up. You go for that flip. End up on the hips if you can. If you ended up on hips, straighten out. Yeah, that was it. Good work. And then we can come out. Good. This next one, if we end up on hips, let's go straight to a hip hang. So you can just kind of hang in that inversion. So, shake fingers, give it that hug, wrap around once. Okay, we're thinking of kind of launching our shins up above us. Settle down right onto the hip bones. Maybe flatten out for a moment just to kind of ease the skin into the good spot. If you need to kind of wiggle a little bit more when the toes touch down, that's okay. And then if you're ready to just be in a hip hang, you can hug, you can do your arms behind, forward, whatever you like. You're still in the hip hang, take another 3 or 4 breaths before you come to the down dog. And if you're in the down dog, keep on lifting the hips higher. Sometimes that gives you a moment of relief from the fabric. Sometimes that's all you need for a moment. Like easing that massage. And then when you're in the down dog shape happy, let's take standing split. So right leg kicks wide so that when we bend the knee and catch the fabric, we're catching it from the outside. Good, you got it? Trying to let the toes on the ground stay there. Maybe the leg wrapped around the fabric can slide higher. If this is easy, standing foot can hop forward, hands can walk backwards, kind of pushing you higher towards standing split. If you're already in a good spot, don't feel any pressure to go further, you're good. Good, one more breath in. Out, start to bend the knee, gentle release of the toes. Good. Second side, wrap it. Shirt catches outside. Good. Maybe straighten the leg up. And see if you can take that 3-part breath to ease into this experience. One more cycle. Slow lowering of that foot down. We can walk our feet up until the feet are on the ground flat. And bending the knees, let your head slowly rise up. You kind of get the head above the heart, flip around and just catch yourself. And you're right into the fabric. It feels like you're safe to be up. Go ahead and rise up to stand. Let's turn around. We're ending up in front of the fabric. And we're gonna try just a small little boat pose challenge. It'll be fun because you have to play with exactly where the fabric ends up. It might be slightly higher on some people, slightly lower. But what you're doing is taking the fabric more or less around the sacral area and then taking the knees in. You're trying to see if you can find a spot where you can just kind of hold in boat pose. It's a pretty good challenge, so don't feel like you're bad if you have to grab onto the fabric over and over again. It's a good massage too. No pressure. Just see if you can find that challenge. It's the moment. Yeah, it's a good massage. Okay. If you're ready to come out for a moment. Yeah, did you have a question, Alicia?
Yeah, is it on your back like a oh, I just spaced the name of it.
Yeah, the shuttle back?
Yes.
Yeah, it's very okay. Yeah.
All right, thanks.
Yep. And when you try it for a couple of seconds, go ahead and come out and just give your back a massage, that part that it was touching. Yeah. Yep, it's hard, just like that. Yep, you're doing it good. Good. And then when you're ready to head all the way back to straddle back, you're welcome to just go to the full wrap. Good, yeah.
Working out.
It's difficult. And even the massage aspect is really hard.
Yeah.
Good. We'll be here upside down together for just a couple of breaths before we kind of head out to a little sequence with starting from here. So if there's anything you want to do in the meantime, such as a little twist, maybe one arm to top of mat, one arm to back of mat, just letting the spine spiral, that could feel nice. Eventually switching the arms if you did that. Movement with a full handstand, so get the toes wrapped, let the hands underneath you. Simultaneously push into hands and feet, handstand. You release into a swing. When you come forward, do a little crunch and back. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend the knees. Back to stillness using hands. And then keep left ankle wrapped, right leg goes free. Send it all the way behind you. Chandelier, maybe one hand or both hands on that foot. Keeping that foot dangling behind you. Gaze up toward the ceiling. Reach the hands on the fabric. Come to kind of like a half-seated position. Getting some blood back into the head. You need to stay here a bit longer, that's great. When you feel like you're safe to come up, continue to tilt forward, squeeze that knee to the midline. Good. And then we'll shift some of the fabric into the right arm locking straight. If this is a great spot, this is okay. Maybe left hand grabs onto the left foot, helping it straighten out.
Figure out why I can't do that. Like what's holding me back?
Yeah.
You know? It's
Yeah.
like I'm always trying, it's like doesn't feel like it's my hamstring.
What it is. I'm not positive either. Okay, release left foot. Let's wind the fabric around. Maybe a little hop back if you feel like you're pretty far forward. And then just a nice warrior one, sinking forward. Good. Coming back. Slide that left foot into the fabric. What we're going to do is come up to stand, a moment with tree pose. Winding right thigh around, right shoulder forward. Just a couple of breaths, massaging that foot. Okay, left hand grabs on for safety. Right hand grabs as soon as it can as the shoulder comes back. From here, bring it's almost like we're standing like a flamingo. We've unwound that right leg. The toes are behind you, the knee is in front of you, it's all in the center. What we're going to do is do a little pull up so that the leg that we're standing on can also flip to that kind of kneeling shape. And then we lower ourselves to kneel directly under the fabric. Good. So from here, knees continue to tilt forward as we arch the spine backwards. The goal being to get both legs into a quad stretch by how far you're tilting those knees forward. The bonus to get that little back bend. Just 2 or 3 good breaths, breathing into it. Good. Rising up. Trying to leave this left leg, lift up to the point where right leg drops back to the ground. So we're still kneeling on that left leg.
Oh.
What did we end up with? Oh, you ended up in front. I ended up behind.
Okay.
Yeah. It's okay. Come around behind.
Just start over?
Yeah, just start over.
Okay.
And just kneel with that
Okay.
with that left shin. Yeah, that's all we're doing. Yeah. Okay. So now turn open to your right side of the mat. This is like a tree pose. The foot's up to the thigh. If you have balance, maybe hands can open left and right just to help your balance challenge. Okay. Returning forward, toes are pointing forward. Arms dive forward of the fabric, kind of clasping hands behind your back. As you start to lean forward, you already start to feel a massage on that shin or ankle area, depending on where exactly you allow the fabric to fall. So if any weight forward is already pretty good pressure, just take that little bit of weight. If you can handle the full weight, you can lift up your right foot, grabbing both hands onto that right foot behind you. It is quite a bit of pressure on the shin, so don't feel like you have to. Like today's like the day of deep massages. And whenever that shin is ready for you to drop down, just drop it down. You can just shake that leg out. It did a lot for us. Good. No, it's okay. You did good. You did good. Okay. So let's stand in front of the fabric. Let's start everything on second side. So just start back with the straddle back, going all the way backwards, unless you wanted to try a boat pose for a moment. And you don't have to do this variation, but if you liked one hand at the top of the mat, one hand at the back of the mat, you're welcome to help that rotate your upper body. You did that, go ahead and switch sides. Good. Preparing for handstand. Wrap the toes, plant the hands underneath. Press all the way up. If you want to just hang, that's fine. If you want to try the swing with the 3 crunches again, let go of your hands with that swing, going for 5 sets. And when you finish, you can stop the swing, bend the knees. This time, keep the right ankle wrapped. Left leg can come behind, chandelier. Grabbing the toes with one or both hands. Releasing, we gaze up. We walk our way up. That like half seated position. Give our head a moment. It feels like you're safe to stand. Squeeze the knee to the midline, tilt forward. We got the right thigh wrapped. So if you were to straighten from here, is it okay?
Like that, right?
If you were to go before the shift. So let's just leave this one down for a moment. Straighten out. How does that one feel? So that one's good. So something about the lifting
The height.
changes it. That's okay. You can stay there. Yeah, that's good right there. And let's start to send the fabric out in front of us. Warrior one, if you want to hop back just a hair, that could be helpful, sinking forward. Another chance to massage our muscles. Getting back. And stand. Slide hands up high. Try to use your control as you rise up. Wrapping left thigh. Left shoulder in front. Breathing into right foot. Okay, right hand on for safety. My knee almost went out. Left hand on. This left leg just comes kind of in that flamingo position. When you're ready with your grip, your standing foot, we lift up until we can just drop down to kneel right on the fabric. Good. Knees can tilt forward, and we lean back to the point where we've got that quad stretch set up. Maybe a full back bend, but really the quad stretch is my favorite thing about this. And coming up, this time it's going to be the right shin that moves inside. The left leg just has to drop down to the floor again. That's it. Okay, turn open to the left side for tree pose. The foot's already kind of placed in the thigh area. The balance is there. Maybe arms open out left and right. Pivoting forward. The shoulders can dive forward and through. And this is the one that's a massage connected to that shin area or ankle, depending on where it is. So as you start to lean forward, if that's already enough pressure, just stay. If you're picking up that left hand, you can hug it in both hands, the left foot, hug it in both hands from behind. And the moment it starts to get to be too much, just drop it down, no pressure. Good work. As we come out, if you need to shake anything, that's great. We have enough time basically for one more thing, so I'll let this one be a free form. Oh, excuse me, little burst. I'll let this one be a free form. So you can do another inversion if you like, maybe the one fabric on your shoulders, or maybe the butterfly one, or if there's something you want to come inside and do, anything like that, go ahead and just do freeform one last thing as long as you like until you're ready for Shavasana.
How does the shoulder one work again? Can you talk me through?
So fabric right on the neck.
Start down here?
No, you can
Oh,
stand.
yeah,
Yeah, sorry. Yep, you got the two little droppies down. So then dive the arms through. And you're bending forward to grab. And then from there, you'll kind of have to hop yourself up to upside down. You got it. Catch the feet. Yep. There you go. That one's pretty intense.
She likes this one, right?
She loves that one. I'm trying to see if she's doing it. I think she must have chosen something else. Now she's doing it. She's like, I'll take the hint. Yeah, suddenly there's a moment where it's like, okay, now it's time to come out. Good. Again, if there's any last stretches or whatever, you just need a recovery pose. Take your time, no rush. You could do anything that you want till Shavasana or any variations of just a resting pose that you like. If you haven't already been playing with that 3-part yogic breath during your Shavasana, perhaps now is a good time. Take a few rounds of it. Here we'll begin that slow journey back out. Perhaps this begins just with the breath, taking another round or two of that 3-part breath. Perhaps we begin to introduce wiggles to the body. Stretching out in any ways that feel helpful. Eventually, sooner or later, coming up to a comfortable seated place. With hands at the heart, we ground down. We feel anything that's touching down, and we feel our breath down to the belly. By trying to go deeply downward like this, we're grounding into this moment, remembering that this is all that we really ever have. And so with this contentment, with this knowing that right now is actually pretty good, with that kind of groundedness into the peace of this moment to help lead us on, we'll wrap up the time we got to share together today with the sound of Om. Deep in, hum now. May we be filled with light, happiness, and peace. Namaste.